The music was soft, the lights were dim, and the air smelled of fresh roses. It was supposed to be the perfect night. Valentine's Day. Emma was seated at a cozy corner table in an upscale Lagos restaurant, a place she'd dreamed of visiting for months. Her dress, a figure-hugging red number, sparkled subtly under the candlelight, and her hair was styled in loose waves cascading over her shoulders. Across from her, Luke, dressed in a sleek black blazer, was already smiling, holding a glass of wine. "This is perfect," Emma said, her voice soft, her eyes scanning the room filled with couples and laughter. They'd been together for 3 years, but tonight felt different, special. Luke's deep brown eyes twinkled. "For you, anything. This is just the beginning, Em." He raised his glass, clinking it with hers. But as they sat there, savoring the moment, something in the atmosphere shifted. A cold draft seemed to sweep through the room, making Emma shiver. She looked around, but nothing seemed out of place. The quiet hum of conversation continued, but the discomfort lingered, like an unseen presence. Then, without warning, a loud crash echoed from the back of the restaurant. People screamed. The room erupted into chaos. Emma's heart pounded as she grabbed Luke's hand. "Stay calm," Luke whispered, his grip tightening around her hand. But she could see the panic in his eyes. They stood up, the table shaking as more screams rang out. A masked figure appeared at the entrance, holding a gun. People ducked under tables, trying to hide. Luke and Emma exchanged a frantic glance, their romantic evening suddenly thrown into a nightmare. "Let's go!" Luke shouted, pulling her towards the back door. They ran, weaving through the panic-stricken crowd. As they reached the back hallway, they were met by a woman dressed in a black, tight-fitting suit. She was holding something that looked like a tablet, but her eyes weren't scanning the screen. Her gaze was locked onto them. "Don't go any further," the woman said, her voice cold. Emma froze, instinctively holding onto Luke's arm. "Who are you?" Luke demanded, his voice shaky. Before she could answer, another shot rang out from the front of the restaurant. The woman's face shifted, revealing a flicker of fear. "Run!" she said, her voice urgent. "This is bigger than you know." They didn't need to be told twice. They turned and sprinted out the back door into the cool Lagos night. Emma's heart raced, her mind struggling to make sense of what just happened. The street was eerily quiet, the usual hum of cars and street vendors now absent. They could hear distant sirens, but nothing felt real. Once they were far enough, they stopped in an alley, panting. Luke's hand was still gripping hers, but now his expression was serious, his eyes scanning the shadows. "Tell me what's going on," Emma demanded, her voice shaking. "What is happening, Luke?" He hesitated, then slowly pulled out his phone, unlocking it with a sigh. "You won't believe me, but I need to tell you everything. It's my family. They're involved in something I never wanted you to know about." The words hung between them like a heavy weight. Emma's mind raced. She had never asked about Luke's family, never needed to. But now, her gut twisted with fear. The attack, the woman in black, and the gunshot, all of it felt connected to it. "I should have told you sooner, but I didn't want to drag you into this. My family's been involved in some dangerous stuff, illegal, underground dealings. I thought I could get away from it. But they found me," Luke said, his voice cracked with emotion. "And now, they found you." Emma stepped back, her eyes widening. "Wait, what are you saying? You're in danger? And now? So am I?" Luke nodded. "I tried to protect you, Em, but we need to go. This isn't safe anymore." Before Emma could process his words, a noise came from the end of the alley, a car's engine, revving louder and closer. Emma turned to Luke, panic setting in. "We need to leave, now!" she screamed. But as they started to run, Emma caught sight of something she hadn't noticed before, a sleek black car parked nearby, its headlights glaring at them. She stopped in her tracks. Something was off. The way the car idled, it was almost as if it was waiting for them. "Luke," Emma whispered, her heart sinking. "It's not just them. We're being followed." Luke spun around, his face pale. "Number, this can't be happening. Not tonight. Not on—" Before he could finish, a woman's voice interrupted them from the shadows. "Emma! Luke!" They turned, and the woman from the restaurant emerged from behind a dumpster. But now, her face was different. Her eyes had an unsettling familiarity to them, as if she'd known them forever. "I told you not to go any further," she said, her voice soft yet firm. "But you didn't listen. Now you have no choice." The car in the alley revved again, and the sound of the engine seemed to echo in Emma's chest. "Who are you?" Luke demanded, his voice hoarse. "What do you want?" The woman stepped closer, a shadow of regret passing over her face. "You should have stayed in the restaurant. Now, you've triggered something far worse than you could imagine." Emma's confusion was mounting. "What are you talking about? Just tell us what you want." The woman looked at Luke. "It's a curse that's been passed down in your family for generations. Tonight, on Valentine's Day, it was activated, and you're both caught in the middle." "What curse?" Emma asked, her voice trembling. "The curse that binds your fates together. The curse that no one can escape." Emma's knees went weak, her mind spinning. Luke's eyes met hers, filled with a mixture of horror and guilt. "But I love you," Luke said, his voice breaking. "And I won't let anything happen to you. Not now, not ever." The woman stepped closer, her eyes darkening. "Love or no love, it's already too late. The curse has begun. And you, Emma, you're part of the reason why." Luke stepped forward, grabbing Emma's hand. "We'll fight this together." In the distance, the sound of the car's engine grew louder, and the woman's eyes narrowed. She knew that time was running out. And as the dark figure in the car approached, Emma and Luke shared a final glance, knowing that no matter what, they would face the chaos together, love and fate intertwining in ways neither could have ever predicted. The black car edged closer, its headlights piercing through the darkness like watchful eyes. Emma's breath hitched as she gripped Luke's hand tighter. The woman in black remained motionless, her expression unreadable, as if she was waiting for something, or someone. Then, the car's engine cut off. Silence. The door clicked open and a figure stepped out. A tall man in a charcoal suit, his features sharp and unforgiving, walked toward them. He exuded authority, the kind that made Emma's skin crawl. His gaze locked onto Luke. "It's time, son," the man said. Emma's stomach dropped. "Son?" Luke stiffened, his body going rigid beside her. "No," he muttered. "Not you." The man let out a slow sigh, as if he had expected this. "You always knew you couldn't run forever. You had your fun, but you knew we would find you." Emma looked between them, her pulse pounding. "Luke, who is this?" she demanded. Luke clenched his jaw. "My father." Emma's world tilted. Luke had never spoken about his family, not in 3 years of being together. And now, here they were, face to face with the very people he had tried to escape. His father's eyes darkened. "I told you to stay away from love. You knew what the curse meant." "I don't believe in curses," Luke snapped. "I left because I wanted a normal life, because I wanted Emma." The woman in black sighed, shaking her head. "It's not about belief, Luke. It's about fate, and now she's tied to it too." Emma's heart pounded in her chest. "Someone explain to me what is going on," she pleaded. Luke turned to her, his face tormented. "The curse. It's real, Emma. Every generation in my family is bound to a blood oath. If we fall in love, truly, deeply love someone, one of us has to die before the next sunrise." Emma felt the world collapse around her. "That's insane," she whispered, shaking her head. This can't be real." The father's expression was stone cold. "And yet, here we are." Luke turned to him, desperation in his voice. "You said there was a way to break it." His father nodded. "Yes, but it comes at a cost." A chill crawled down Emma's spine. "What cost?" The woman in black answered, her voice eerily calm. "One of you must willingly sacrifice the love you share, a complete severance of your bond. No memories, no feelings, gone forever. That is the only way to cheat death." Emma's chest tightened. Forget Luke? Forget the love that made her heart race, that made her believe in something bigger than herself? It felt like an impossible choice. Luke turned to her, anguish in his eyes. "Emma, if we don't do this, one of us dies." Tears welled in her eyes. "But if we do this, we lose everything." A heavy silence fell between them. Luke cupped her face, his touch gentle yet urgent. "I would rather lose the memories than lose you." Emma's hands trembled as she covered his. "But what if love is stronger than fate? What if we fight this?" His father scoffed. "You think you're the first to try? The curse doesn't bend. It consumes." Emma closed her eyes, her heart breaking. If they did this, they would wake up as strangers. The memories of their love, every laugh, every touch, every stolen moment, wiped away. But if they didn't, Luke swallowed hard. "We don't have time, Em." A tear slid down her cheek. "Okay," she whispered. "Okay." The woman in black raised the tablet, pressing a button. A low hum filled the air. "This is your last chance," she said. "Are you sure?" Luke squeezed Emma's hand one last time. "I love you," he whispered. Emma felt a sob rise in her throat. "I love you too." Then, everything went black. The next morning, Emma woke up in her apartment, the sun filtering through her curtains. She blinked at the ceiling, a strange emptiness in her chest. Something was missing. She got up, walked to the mirror, and stared at her reflection. Her heart ached, but she didn't know why. Somewhere across Lagos, Luke sat in a cafe, staring at a cup of coffee, feeling the same hollow absence. A stranger passed by the window, her red dress catching the light. His heart skipped, but only for a second. Then the feeling was gone, and the curse was broken.